welcome back to my channel, Side Hustle Seattle. So first of all, if it's echoey, I apologize. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. I need to get like a rug or something to reduce the echo, so I'll get that for the next video. But anyways, today I wanted to talk through why as a remote online notary, it's important to have more than one platform. Now I've been around for 6 months or so, and I started with one platform, which, made sense, and kind of realized very quickly that it's smarter if I had more than one. And so I'll go into what led up to that realization and why I think that if you're Ron, especially if you're looking to do this full time, you should definitely consider getting more than one platform. Okay, so before we get into the conversation, I have to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Hatch. Now, Hatch is a modern online business checking platform really designed towards small business owners and entrepreneurs like myself and like many of you watching the video. Now, Hatch offers a bunch of great rewards and benefits, but some of my favorite are, no NSF fees, up to 5% cash back on things like gas, restaurants, hotels, and even discounts on tools and services that you need to run your business, like add credit for Yelp or credit towards payment processing fees for Square, or even discounts on QuickBooks. Now, those are just some of the rewards and benefits that you can get, so highly encourage you to check out the website to see all that it offers. And if you are looking to sign up, you can sign up using my link and you will get your first year completely free. So of course, I'll put it up on the screen. I'll definitely put it in the description. Highly recommend checking out Hatch. They're doing some really cool things as a company. So thank you again for sponsoring this video. Now let's get into the video. So why do I think it's important to have more than one remote online notary platform when you are a Ron? So for me, it really boils down to like a few main things just based off my experience. So those things being technical glitches, platform capability, client preference, and most importantly, fees, transaction fees. Now, it's always important when doing anything related to notary work, remote online notary work, it doesn't matter. Please, please, please make sure you know your state laws. Not all states are built the same. In Washington, we can have as many platforms as we want as long as it gets approved through them. That may not be the case in all states. Maybe you can only have one. Maybe you can only choose ones that they specifically designate. You just want to make sure that you do your research before you go in and start paying for platforms and all of that. So please, if you haven't done the research, do that research first before you sign up with anything. Now let's go ahead and get into the first reason, technical glitches. Listen, technology is technology. I don't care how good the platform is. Things happen. Things glitch out. Things don't always work the way that they're supposed to work. And in those cases, if you do not have another platform, you're kind of out of luck. So I've told this story before, I know, in one of my videos, but I had a situation, it was like my very first signing, I believe. My very first remote online signing, I was geeked. It was somebody who had watched one of my videos, so it's a subscriber. So of course I wanted to have an amazing experience. Well, we get onto the platform, I get them through the KBAs, we're doing the signing, we get all the way done with the signing. We go to complete it, right? After you complete it, what typically happens is they pay and then they get the documents. Well, for whatever reason, it froze. So we spent like an hour together too. It froze and they weren't able to complete the signing. And so I didn't know what to do. So I was able to get in touch with the platform and they're like, oh, just try to refresh it. I refreshed it and lost everything. So that hour we just spent together was for naught. And even when we went back in and tried to do it again, we hit another glitch. And in that case, I had no other option, right? So I pretty much just had to be like, hey, I can't do it. I can't do it today. I'm so sorry. Like, hopefully I can do it today. If not, I can help you find another notary. So one, it was a bad experience for them. It was embarrassing for me, I'll be honest with you. And it was just a poor experience all around. And it's not necessarily that platform's fault, things happen. But when you don't have a backup, you're out of luck. And the thing I've noticed about remote online notary platforms is they don't typically have 24/7 instant customer service, right? A lot of places don't. So what may happen, especially if you're doing like an overnight signing, you're not gonna be able to get in touch with anybody. So if something does glitch out, if the person maybe can't hear you or the video's not coming across correctly or whatever the case may be, you're not gonna be able to get in touch with somebody right away. So you wanna make sure that you have a different option. So glitches is definitely something to be wary about anytime you're using technology. Okay, so the second one we absolutely have to get into is platform capability. So platform capability is really my way of saying, not all platforms are good for all things, right? Like not all platforms are equipped to handle every scenario you may need depending on what it is. Like for example, I use 3 main platforms right now. That's OneNotary.us, Live Notary, and then Notarize. It just got notarized recently. So let's say I had a loan signing. Now, OneNotary.us and Live Notary are equipped to handle that, but currently Notarize actually does not allow for loan signings. So if that was the only platform I had, I'm pretty much writing those off. Like I'm pretty much just saying I can't do loan signings during this time, right? And that's terrible, especially if you're looking to do remote online notary work as a full-time job. You want to be able to do that. Now, Notarize is a great platform. I think it has one of the best user experiences, so I definitely want to have it from a client standpoint, for my customers or for general notary work. But for loan signings, I have to have another platform. So those are some scenarios that may come up. And even like basic stuff, like a lot of platforms don't allow for multiple signers to be in separate locations because they all have to be in the same camera. So if you have, 2 signers and they happen to be in 2 different states for whatever reason, you may not be able to do the signing, right? You may not be able to do the notarization because your platform doesn't allow for it. So you want to make sure that if you had, a platform that did allow for it, you can use that in that scenario. Also, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, then you know there's a few different types of platforms, right? There's platforms that pretty much allow signing services to assign you work directly through them. There's platforms that give you clients. There's platforms that allow you to bring your own clients. But the catch is, there's not one platform that gives you all of those things, right? There's not one platform that, allows people signing services to assign you work directly and gives you clients and allows you to bring clients. I wish there was. I hope there is going to be that soon, but there's currently not. So if you're a Ron looking to get all of those experiences, you're naturally going to have multiple platforms anyway. So that is just something to keep in mind. So one of the other reasons I think it's important to have multiple platforms is client preference. Now, when I say the word client, to me, that's anybody who is giving you the signing. So the client can be an individual, so can get a document notarized, or it can be a signing service. It doesn't matter. But sometimes clients have preferences, right? I've had signers who are getting a notarization who are like, hey, I really want to do this on my phone because I'm going to be out and about. Now, personally, some platforms are better for mobile than others. So having multiple platforms allows me to better cater to my client's preference. And on the signing service side of it, or the mortgage or title or lender, whoever gave you the signing, especially if it's a loan signing, they have preferred platforms a lot of times, right? It's not like just because you have a Ron platform and they have a loan signing, they're automatically going to be on board with whatever platform you have. That's not the case. A lot of times they have preferred ones. So if you have a wider net, right, if you have more platforms, there's a better chance that you'll have a platform that they've already approved, and that way you won't miss out on that loan signing. So the last one we have to get into, probably the most important, probably the one, if there's one thing that will convince you to get more than one platform, it's the cost per transaction. Now, transaction fees vary platform to platform, and they can vary quite a bit. And to be honest, some platforms are better for certain work, right? Some are better if you're doing a single notarization. Some are better if you have multiple seals. Some are better for loan signings. And so I feel like the best way to kind of like explain that and show you is to just show you a side-by-side comparison. So again, I have OneNotary.us, Live Notary, and Notarize. All fantastic platforms, all platforms I would recommend. But some are better for other things than others. And so what I'll do, I'm just gonna put up a little graphic of essentially how the prices break down based on what we're doing. So let's just start with the basics. If I'm getting a single document notarized, this is how much it would cost from the different platforms. So you can see it varies a little bit. Now, depending on how much of a loss you're looking to take, you may not really care that much when it comes to a single notarization. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and let's just look into, let's say it's 3 seals. Then let's see how the prices would differ from platform to platform. So I'll go ahead and just throw that back on the screen. Okay, so a little bit more of a difference, right? Now, loan signings. Loan signings are a big one, right? Loan signings are the high dollar earners. Loan signings are oftentimes how people make this their full living. So let's see what it would look like if we're doing a loan signing and compare it from platform to platform. So you can kind of see that having multiple platforms can be beneficial in a lot of ways, right? And not everything's equal. not everything adds up the same. And so I personally love having multiple platforms. Now, one thing I'll keep in mind, I will be honest, because I've been in this position of being a brand new Ron and like being overwhelmed. I get it. Like when you're first starting out, you're like, I'm just trying to figure out my one platform. And now you're saying like, get 3 or 4. It's not what I'm necessarily saying. When you're starting out, I get it. Like you have research you have to do, you have costs you have to consider, you have the onboarding you have to consider. It's overwhelming. Being a notary, signing up to be a notary, loan signing agent, whether you're Ron, mobile, doesn't matter, is overwhelming. And so you don't want to overwhelm yourself in the beginning because you don't want to get discouraged. So if you need to start with one platform, start with one platform, that's fine. But if you're looking to truly be around and be one full-time or even part-time like myself, but do a little bit more, then start to consider getting multiple platforms. Now, my suggestion, if you're paying for a platform, like if there's a monthly fee or a setup fee or a startup fee or anything that requires a lot of money kind of upfront, then try to make your additional platforms not cost money. Like there's plenty of free platforms now. So if you're paying for one, try not to pay for another one. That would be my suggestion, right? Because it really, if you're gonna just use it as a just in case, there's no point in you paying a monthly fee for it or a big setup fee or a big startup fee. You wanna make it as easy on yourself as possible, put as much money back in your pocket as possible. But let me know what you think. If you're currently a Ron, do you have multiple platforms? If so, what are your platforms? Share with the audience. Also, if you are not a Ron but considering being one, do you think that you'll start out with just one? Do you think you'll go into the game with more than one? And do you agree with this at all? Do you think it's actually important to have more than one platform? Because you may just be like, no, you can find one platform that'll take care of 99% of your needs, and that's good enough. So always open to any sort of feedback, suggestions, conversations about any of this. So feel free to leave it in the comments section. And as always, thank you for watching my video.